There's been so much going on in the Charlie Kirk case that I've had to skip over important details just to keep you up to date with all of the new news that is coming in. But there's one thing that really stuck out to me in the days after Charlie's death that I would like to talk to you guys about. Because I believe it was the day after Charlie was assassinated, a bodyguard came out and spoke out about Charlie's security. Now, this is not a bodyguard for Charlie. This is a bodyguard, a security official that works with a lot of famous people, including Kim Kardashian and a lot of other names you would recognize. This guy claims that he was a big Turning Point USA fan. He would watch Charlie's debates, and he got a bad feeling that Charlie did not have the proper security. He said that he checked things out. He heard from other security officials about the lack of security at Charlie's events. So he reached out to Charlie personally, and he said that he talked to him personally back in March, and he warned Charlie. He did not warn Charlie that, hey, something bad may happen to you. He says that he told Charlie that for a 100% fact, Charlie would be shot and killed at this upcoming tour if he did not change his security. He told him straight up, a 100% fact, you will be shot and killed if you do not change your security. That's what this security official / bodyguard is saying. He claims that he told that to Charlie back in March. And all of his other friends in security, they all talk about the lack of security at Charlie's events. And did you know, on the day Charlie was assassinated, there were over 3,000 people in attendance for that little event, and they only had 6 officers out there. Charlie had his own private security, but they only had 6 police officers out there for a crowd of over 3,000 people. So I don't feel like there's terribly too much going on in that area. I feel like they definitely could have sent more police to look over that event, but they sent 6 cops, folks, 6 cops. But I want to read a little bit of information for you guys that this bodyguard is sharing because I find it very interesting. Now, before I do dive into this information, though, if you're here, if you like the channel, if you support the channel, hit that like button, subscribe, share the video. If you want to donate, you can donate via Cash App or Super Thanks. Always greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and dive into more information, though. Chris Herzog, owner of the Bodyguard Group of Beverly Hills, has now revealed that he spoke with Kirk on March 6th about the dangers of these events. The pair met at a previous rally at California State University, with Herzog saying he reached out after being told by officers who worked with Kirk about the concerns they had over the growing size of his meets. Herzog said he warned Kirk he would 100% be killed at one of his upcoming university speaking events if major safety measures were not implemented. Herzog even claimed he predicted it would be a shooting which claimed Charlie's life. He explained, "Everyone in my group felt that his security was not even close to what it should be, and that he was in grave danger of being shot and killed at one of his upcoming events." Herzog has worked with a huge number of high-profile clients, from Kim Kardashian to Sharon Stone. He said he used his knowledge from past security operations to try and give Kirk some suggestions. One included putting up a portable bulletproof glass shield around Kirk when he was speaking. Another idea was to search every person within 700 feet of Charlie for any weapons. Herzog said this could be easily done with metal detectors and handheld sensors. Another was to hire his own off-duty plainclothes cops to patrol the events. The local Utah police force did confirm officers were on duty Wednesday and had been in the crowds of students. However, officials later said only 6 officers were assigned to the campus event, which was made up of around 3,000 people. Herzog said Kirk promised to consider the recommendations and implemented them, but believed steps were never taken. The well-known U.S. bodyguard said, sadly, he never got back to me, and now my prediction of his murder has come true. Mark Wilson, a fellow colleague of Herzog, also said he spoke to Kirk about increasing his safety. He revealed, "We are huge Turning Point fans, being conservatives, and we discussed the lack of security because he's up close with these nutcase kids and does not appear that he wears a bulletproof vest. It's super sad what has happened." You know, it's easy to say now that we wish Charlie would have listened to these recommendations about his security and what have you. But you see, Charlie was out here confronting these crazies, debating these crazies. You know, he was on the front lines. And I feel like Charlie was aware that he was somewhat in danger. But I also think that Charlie wanted to believe, like we all want to believe, that we still lived in a country where we could have dialogue, where we could have conversation, where we could have debate. Charlie was well aware that a lot of those people hated him, and a lot of those people disagreed with him. But I think Charlie still tried to see the good in people. And I think that deep down, Charlie wanted to believe that as much as these people disliked him, as much as they despised him, that they wouldn't take it to the extent that they did. I think that Charlie wanted to believe that as an American, we could go on a college campus and have a conversation with other people without being sniped from a roof. And it's easy to look at what happened to him now and say, oh, Charlie should have did this, Charlie should have did that. We shouldn't live in a country where people are getting assassinated for having debates, for preaching about common sense. So we can talk about security measures all day, and I understand why those conversations need to be had, and I understand that security has to be tighter at stuff like this in the future. But when you really boil it down, I don't think we should be looking for people's mistakes and thinking, oh, they should have did this, they should have did that. No, maybe these whacked out, deranged weirdos should not be free on the streets. Maybe you shouldn't have enabled these whacked out weirdos to think the way they do. Maybe the media shouldn't have been brainwashing young folks for years. Maybe we shouldn't pretend like people who act as if they're cats and dogs while getting sex changes. Maybe we shouldn't pretend that that is healthy and normal, because that is what enabled these people to kill Charlie. That's what enabled these people to kill Charlie. And Charlie should have been safe out there, just like everyone should be safe out there if you want to have a conversation anywhere. So I don't think that the lack of security is necessarily a mistake on Charlie's part. I mean, obviously he should have had more security, but I don't think it's like a mistake that he made without knowing. I think Charlie was well aware of some of the dangers that he may be facing, but Charlie had a big heart, and regardless if you like him or not, he obviously had a passion for speaking to people and talking to people. And I don't think that he wanted to feel separated from these people, you know, in any other way. I don't think he wanted bulletproof glass between him and the person he was connecting with. I don't think that's what Charlie wanted. I think that defeated the purpose of what Charlie was trying to do, which is probably why he didn't have some of the security measures in place that maybe he should have. But you know, we could talk about what went wrong. We could talk about who should have did this. At the end of the day, Charlie is gone. Charlie's memorial service is today. I'm sure a lot of you are watching. I'll be watching as well. But for now, you guys let me know what you think about this down in the comments below. While you're down there, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe, ring that notification bell, and I'll talk to you all very soon at the next one.